President Trump in a spiral of denial tonight, tweeting he will win when he didn't. And President-elect Biden is forging ahead, an announcement on his chief of staff coming as early as tomorrow. Yet after appearing for the first time in public in 6 days for a brief Veterans Day event today, Trump tonight refusing to accept reality, hunker back down with his advisors and his lawyers. Now, we can tell you that some of Trump's advisors are privately saying they know that there is no chance they will overturn Biden's win, but Trump won't have it, and he's the boss. Trump and Trump alone right now is holding the country back, complaining about mass voter fraud in states he lost. Take Arizona, where the president and his campaign have repeatedly declared victory. The state's Republican Attorney General just went on Fox News and said this.
It does appear that Joe Biden will win Arizona. There are no facts that would lead anyone to believe that the election results will change. What really happened, it came down to people split their ticket. People voted for Republicans down ballot, but they didn't vote for President Trump, Martha McSally. And so that's the reality. Just because that happened, it doesn't mean it's fraud.
That's the fact. Is it that hard to say? Okay, so that's Arizona. Now take Georgia. Trump tails Biden by more than 14,000 votes in Georgia. Just a short time ago, that state's Republican Secretary of State responded to Trump and his campaign's claims of mass voter fraud by saying this.
Have you seen any evidence of widespread fraud or anything along those lines?
We have ongoing investigations, but we've not seen something widespread.
Okay, no widespread fraud. Now, take Pennsylvania. The president today came out and attacked a Republican commissioner in Philadelphia after that commissioner came on CNN and said this.
What evidence of any widespread fraud have you seen in the count in Philadelphia?
I have not. I realize a lot of people are happy about this election, and a lot of people are not happy about this election. One thing I can't comprehend is how hungry people are to consume lies and to consume information that is not true.
These people are all coming out and saying the truth, right? They're doing their jobs. They are putting their country first. They are counting the ballots. They do not see widespread fraud in state after state after state. And you heard Commissioner Schmidt there say lies. These lies that are being put out. Well, Trump is the one putting the lies out there, and he is seizing on some people's desire for conspiracy. What he is doing is wrong on the merits. It is counterfactual, it is lies, and it is dangerous because some people believe it. Our Kyung La talked to one of the president's supporters in Georgia who is buying what Trump is selling.
I think there was large-scale cheating. I think there was large-scale voter fraud, and it has to be brought out.
All right, we're hearing alarming comments like that because of tweets like this from the president. Nevada is turning out to be a cesspool of fake votes. Okay, the facts in Nevada, Biden is ahead by nearly 37,000 votes. And Nevada's Republican Secretary of State pushing back against the president, making it clear that at this point, no fraud has come to light. Again, the facts matter because, yes, every vote counts. And when you say that, it kind of gives you this moral high ground. But let's just be clear. Every vote counts. But when someone gets enough votes to win, the loser concedes. That is what happens in this country. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. She lost Pennsylvania by a smaller margin, and Trump is losing it. Biden is winning Michigan by a margin of nearly 14 times more than Trump did. Yet Clinton conceded, and she did so without waiting until every state certified results. She didn't do this, every vote needs to be counted. I'm going to challenge single thing in court. I'm going to ask for all these recounts. I'm going to take it to court. I'm going to wait till the certification in the middle of December when the Electoral College meets. She didn't do it because the outcome was clear. She, like many other presidential hopefuls, did the right thing. In fact, the last Republican president to suffer a bitter defeat after just one term conceded immediately. And then President George H.W. Bush wrote a letter to the man who defeated him, Bill Clinton, which reads in part, "I wish you well. I wish your family well. Your success now is our country's success. I am rooting hard for you."